Welcome to Kumar Exclusive Acting School. I'm just kidding because couple of people wrote, Kumar, brother, your acting is super like that. I didn't act, brother. I didn't know how to teach acting also, but just I spoke from bottom of my heart. This topic, my driving experiences in U.S.C. observations. I didn't know people text while driving, right? And in fact, first of all, let me tell you, I got two-wheeler and four-wheeler driving license when I was in India. I drove, I think, car only once, but mostly, right? I have a Royal Bullet Enfield bike, so I used to drive extensively on that. I don't think I have cell phone when I have a bike, so I didn't know people talk while driving, whether it is Bluetooth or coming to America. Let me tell you my experiences. Driving written test is very simple, but somehow I didn't write. I habituated to beg people and go by a bus here and there, cab, like that. But later, once I got license, once I got the vehicle, then in New York, my experience is it's a hands-free driving. Like you cannot, when cop stops or when cop sees you texting and driving, or while the phone is like this while driving, you may be pulled out for a ticket. So my driving is good when I was driving initially in Pennsylvania in 2009. But when I went to Montana and then I drove from Montana to Massachusetts across, 5 days I drove across country. Then my driving got drastically changed, and finally when I got projects in New York City 2011 to 15 and almost like 5 years, I used to drive like a cab driver, New York City cab driver, right? They press on and then drive here and there without signaling. So I got more than 13 points, but the New Jersey limit is 13. Then I started driving within limits and followed all the rules. I mean to say not speed. And then when I went to court judge cancelled one ticket. Then the point stops at 12, whereas 13 is the limit. So that's how systems bend anybody here. That's one. And in upstate New York, I think my landlord's daughter told she used to drive without license. Local citizens, America cannot do, but if it's in naturalization or green card, drink and drive, all these will be affected. Right? Naturalization citizen also is not great. Anytime America can take it back. Next, coming to trust and calls. Let me tell you, unfortunately, I have uploaded my resume into corp to corp job site. I didn't know all the recruiters will call from India only for that job site. I'm not criticizing India or recruiter brothers there, so don't misunderstand. 1 in 10,000 recruiters understand about USA. Like USA has a 6 time zones. Even Indian hiring managers in USA also don't understand. When I was in Montana, when I received a call, recruiters used to hang up when I say I'm in Montana time zone, Mountain time zone. Hiring managers also, when they conduct interview, they couldn't understand. They think that only East Coast, New York and California, something like that. So on girl recruiter, she called and said, "Oh, you're asking for a project, but why are you driving from Pennsylvania to New Jersey?" She didn't understand. And when I received a call, I said, "I'm driving." "So why are you driving when you are looking for a project?" So they expect that I sit in a room and attend the call. So then it kills my time. So they ask various poking questions, man. So they literally poke so many questions. I don't need to give the list here. And then finally I realized quickly and I deleted my profile from corp to corp job sites. So most of the jobs I got through monster.com. But my ex H1B broker agent used to shout at me, you got all your on your own like that, because that guy fucking idiot used to sleep. Recruiter, people they call business development manager, whatever it is. And then yeah, that is one experience. I realized I should not talk over the phone, but unfortunately, whenever or whoever sit next to me in the car, not my spouse or family members, I'm telling, when I travel with others, most of the time they are on the phone. I could not listen to the songs in the car. So recent visit also Chicago, I told please stop talking. I will at least listen to the music. And one of my friends or family members, they came accompany. Like when I went to drop my sibling to India, right, at Chicago airport. So the people, Americans habituated to, are addicted to texting while driving. Americans means born here or raised here, or Indian kids become Americans, right? So they text. So one guy asked, why are you texting? And they keep this between the legs, and he said only at the stop sign I'm texting, red sign. But still it is dangerous, right? And I came to know this only when one of my family members attended a training, driving text. Each state different rules, man. So one state, New York State, for example, 5 hours you have to attend the training. Then I came to know texting, a lot of people die on the driving. So it is a 2 seconds to 8 seconds maximum a major disaster can happen. So if you lost those 2 precious seconds while driving, either sleeping, like blinking, like I told you, right, 2016 to 17, I slept because I was driving non-stop from Webster to Ohio, because that hiring manager corrupt, did not allow family to move, because every day is to tell project is over unless his bribes comes through the agents or brokers. So that was a long story, but when I blink, then I quickly realized and stopped. So my average capacity is 850 miles a day. I drove to Florida also, right? So that is my capacity, but day means for me 5 a.m. hitting the highway and midnight get off from the highway. That is for day when I start driving. So but I take all precautions, and then I finally stopped because I'm making this video because I gave up all my bad habits, right? That is texting while driving, answering the calls. It's very painful, man. Vendors. I still remember his name. I don't want to tell. He's a Tamilian Indian guy. He's a number 3 in the layer. He was shouting at me like anything. It's like insulting me. It's because I work a labor work at a site. Everybody in the chain gets money, right? That stupid fucker, motherfucker. Also, I can say that bad word to him. That guy was idiot fucker. Called me and scolded me like anything. So I cannot say fuck off to him on the call because he's in the layer. If he holds my money, then it gets stuck, right? In the beggar last agent, the 2008 project, I'm telling, that beggar womanizer, he doesn't pay. Even if it received also, he didn't give money. So I should not use bad words, right? I could not record because I was driving. That's one, and I was driving. So I stopped at a gas station and I tried to put my camera on. Camera means other Canon. So then he ended the call. So almost half an hour he was scolding me for complaining to the client. So that's how vendor beggars, whatever you call. One time one African American colleague was there. I used to pick him from the railway station in DC to the work when on the way. It's not on the way, but still that help I did. And then from Baltimore I used to drive. So this Hindu converted Christian vendor come employer, others when they call this Tamilian, my guy used to disconnect the call, hung up the call. So don't answer, reject the call. Don't answer, Kumar. Why this fuckers vendors calls to you? Why do you answer while driving? So I realized that also leads to disaster. When you are driving on the highway, listen to the peaceful music. So I don't play music until when I was driving. Like I said, right, 850 miles, my average daily driving capacity. Until I get the highway, I don't play music because you will focus, right? Unknown roads. That's one. And that is what I mean. If you are new to driving, don't listen to the music. Focus on the driving. I still don't understand after all these insight or thought process I gave. I stopped answering the calls while driving. Texting, I stopped. WhatsApp or anything. So because I've seen, right, so many accidents. How in the Texas incident also, they were saying the daughters might have distracted her, so the mother failed to stop. We don't know what happened. They're dead. So it's almost 2 seconds to 8 seconds gap. And when India also, during my childhood, there is a separate seat next to the driver in the government buses. So I used to sit there and watch the drivers, because I'm very much interested in watching the drivers while driving. And so those things made me a good driver. I'm not declaring I'm a good driver, but that is one. And also I thought of in the New York projects only. When I had a whiskey that night, I got a call saying that suddenly drive to the site. I told team lead I had this, I need a gap to start driving. So it was working at airports. Then I decided not to drink, at least during that project. So later also, these DUI cases I heard, right? So finally I decided give up drinking alcohol or attend parties. It's not good. That's what my thought process. I gave up. I'm not becoming Swamiji or Baba, but these are my, because while reading the news, what do you get, man? When you drink also, suddenly somebody got an emergency in the home, or suddenly you got a call, you need to drive, and you can't drive, right? That is where it's not worth drinking as long as you live in America. It doesn't mean that India you can drink and drive, but in India you have a lot of public transportation available. That's not there in yes, Uber is there, but everybody has to afford it, and it should be available everywhere, right? And yeah, thank you friends for watching my stories, whatever. Thank you once again.